Hello everybody, I'm Bugsy, and I'm angry. On a few different things, but I'm going to use most of it against. I'm going to use most of it against old Logan's Hub, since this was a rant I really wanted to do, because personally, this man right here is just shitting all over the fandom, and I'm about to bust it down, break it down so many times to, yeah, man, I don't, hold up. Hold up, I'm also looking for something because someone got in my room, was cleaning, and now I can't find some of my other stuff, so it's another thing I'm kind of mad at right now, to be kind of honest. It ticks me off so much, actually. You guys don't even know how angry I am right now. Sorry, folks. I'm still looking around for this necklace that my girlfriend made. I totally, I left it in my freaking fedora for safekeeping because I know where, because at least when I put something somewhere, I know where everything is. But when people clean my room, I'm like, okay, where is my stuff? And the thing is, like, I'm gonna find an answer, and no one's gonna tell me where my stuff is. Watch. I'm just gonna sit there and be like, but I'm not gonna. But I'm gonna direct my anger to where I need it the most. And my dog Princess will not get off me. All right. Okay. Nope. Sorry, guys. Eh. I'm just looking for this because I'm like, where could, where could have gone? A necklace like that, don't just walk away. But oh well, I'll find it later. Oh, okay. Let's get to our first point here. What? You can't let a fandom just create what they want? God dang. Yeah, it's cringy to some of you, but it's what people want to do. Jesus. You guys may say cringy. You guys may say cringy, but people actually like working on these things, you know? Sure, there's a whole bunch of bad fan art. A lot of people want to fuck Sans. Like the vast majority of Undertale fans kind of want to fuck the skeleton. I get it. I get it. But you know, like the thing about Logan Hub is he like makes this big old fucking fan checklist, and he basically says, "Oh, Undertale doesn't fit this, but Dark Souls technically does." Like this little checklist he has that probably only Dark Souls can fill based on his standards. You guys understand how fucked up that is? It's like and just, eh. I'm just saying, not every fandom is perfect, and everybody should stop fucking pretending like every fandom's golden. Hell, the Dark Souls fandom can be a little cringy too, my friend. You just haven't been on the internet long enough to see it. But let's get into it, shall we?
Solid yes. Congratulations, 6 out of 7. That's one more than 5 out of 7. That means the fandom is officially cancer. Cue the balloons, everybody. I get what you're going to say. Logan, this checklist is fucking biased. Not a single fandom could pass through this, Logan. What are you doing? You're just being a dick to the Undertale fandom. No fandom could pass this checklist. Well, you're wrong.
Yeah, because you love the Dark Souls fandom. Of course, they can pass it because this is a checklist by your own standards. So, of course, Dark Souls passes because you like Dark Souls and you like the fandom. Personally, Personally, Logan, I just feel like you just wanted to fuck with the Undertale fandom just because, simply because you can. Yeah, there's cringy art. There's cringy art in every goddamn fandom. You act like that's not the norm. It is. You guys need to fucking stop with all this, like, oh, I don't like the Undertale board. I don't like the Undertale art. People actually work hard on some of this art, and yeah, it may be cringy to you. It may be cringy. It may be cringy to you, but to a person who probably actually poured his heart for him, her, any gender really, who poured their heart and soul into it, you guys are just going, hey, 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 I don't like this fan art because it shows Undyne's ass, or it shows Alphys's ass, and like all this shit. Now I'm gonna get into why people want to fuck these characters, because I think a certain I think a certain yellow ball on my channel wants a go around at that. So I'm just gonna say this, Logan, because I didn't want to sit through your whole fucking video of you just dumping on the Undertale fandom. Because personally, my friend, it's just kind of dumb that you would have Dark Souls and you say, "Oh, none of that shit's cringy. None of the cringy fetishy art is cringy." Dude, this is why I'm the fan Brad Basher. This is why I fight against this kind of shit. Because I get tired of people like you acting like you think your fandom's so goddamn perfect. Yeah, and really, it, under the specifications of your checklist, and if I used it to my standards, Dark Souls wouldn't pass my standards. No fandom can. Because we all have a fandom, we all have our groups of crazy people in each fandom. Don't act like they're not there. They are. Whether you like it or not. That's the thing that really fucking, makes me angry. People, you deny that because you think, oh, Dark Souls, and watch, I'm gonna look in the freaking comments, and then everything like, oh, Undertale's so cringy. You know what, I'm talking about? Go right ahead after me. I'm gonna let this loose. I've been holding this in for a while. I feel like the vast majority of the Undertale fandom is younger. That's why a lot of people creations are so bad. How to piss off the Undertale Step 1, play the neutral route. Okay. Let's just see. Let's just Big T Larity, what the Oh my god, Big T Larity. His grandma was a homosexual dad by his own hand. I need to watch some Cold Monkeys. I need to watch some Cold Monkeys after this. I'm like, I'm mad. I'm mad and trying to do this video while my dog constantly tries to come over and lick me because he knows I'm angry. Come on, girl, down. Down. I ain't in the mood. Now, I'm not going to get into everything Because if you hate the Undertale fandom, that is totally your choice, and I'm not gonna hate you for it. But this motherfucker tries to be like, oh, not all fandoms are cringy. Every fandom has its dark side. Every fandom has its dark side. Dark Souls isn't any different. Sonic isn't any different. Mario's not any different. My Little Pony's not any different. Every fandom has its weirdos, its crazies. But to deny, just to say, with your little shit-eating grin, and say that Dark Souls is Dark Souls is just just no, it's so it's so perfect. I'm like, no, it isn't, because none are. There is no such thing as a perfect fandom. Hell, I used to think Steven Universe was perfect until those fucking fan assholes, those fucking fandom assholes went and bullied Zemi to the point where she almost killed herself. You know, and then we lost one of the other we lost one of the storyboarders because the fandom couldn't accept everything, and I just got pissy. I got pissy at that, and I don't care what any of you say, especially a certain somebody that says, "Oh, ranting is stupid." Like person, and you know who you are. I can rant I can rant whenever I goddamn please, because one, I live in America, and I got freedom of speech. And you know what this falls under? Freedom of speech. So I can rant whatever I want. But personally, after this, I'm gonna do something a little lighter because it's almost Christmas, guys, and I don't want to be angry all day, even though this other thing that's happening kind of made me angry, and there's a few other things that are happening that are making me super furious, and I just need to calm down before I fucking explode. Looks like, and this dude has like a little script. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay. Because a lot of people still want me to do my sand stuff. Looks like Logan Hub's about to have a bad time. I'm sure he'll see it our way if we just give him some spaghetti. I can't do Alphys's thing. I can't do Alphys's voice, but I'll try. It, Alphys is gonna sound really, really male. I just want you all to know. A lot of people go like, Alphys is totally a fucking dude. I'm like, no, Alphys isn't. She's a chick. That's just me. That's just me. If you think of her as a chick, it's cool. But like, I just get like irritated because it'll be like, wait a minute. Well, I kind, I kind of wanted to show his lemon fanfic I wrote about Frisgatoria. Oh God. Frisky's like, I got nothing to say to that. Knowing this pisses Logan Hub off fills you with determination. Is there anything, is there anything we can really just... Okay, but you know what? Bugsy, tag me in. Alright, my bro. I'll tag you in. Alright. Alright. Now, a lot of you don't understand why a lot of people want to fuck these characters, but mostly it goes down to their personalities and what we actually find attractive about them. Now, yes, they're video game characters, and yes, a lot of them are the skeletons, monsters, and other things you probably couldn't put your dick in. or have them fuck you if you're a chick. But it just happens. You can get attracted to something. A lot of you probably had cartoon or video game crushes when you were kids, and some of you probably still do. And yeah, you may not get it, but it's kind of why people kind of have an affinity, kind of an affinity for, um, let me see, Fluttershy, because a lot of people kind of like that and think she's cute. If she was real, they use the logic if she was if the X character was real, they would get with that, or stuff like that. But I really hate that most of you would literally fucking condemn the Undertale fandom because to me and Bugsy, it's young, it's young, it's in its earlier form. Y'all don't got no right to judge it really. And I understand if you hate Undertale. I feel like you shouldn't hate Undertale until you actually kind of play it. I know a lot of people, I know a lot of fans can be a lot of angry bastards. I get it. I get it. They'll constantly throw it like you should play Undertale, you should play Undertale, you should play Undertale. But regardless, me and Bugsy still played Undertale no matter because we thought it was good. It looked good to us. The story was compelling. We actually felt for these characters. And Bugsy and I related. We kind of could relate to some of them. But I feel like you guys shouldn't try to say you hate Undertale if you haven't played it. Just you should say like you're indifferent to it. Because you haven't played it, so you can't judge your. There's nothing to really judge or hate on it except the fanboys and the fangirls. But there's no reason for you to hate the game. You just hate the fandom. And then say that. Say that. Me and Bugsy just don't like it when this motherfucker made this list that only Dark Souls can pass because he wants to fuck all the different creatures in freaking Dark Souls. And to me and Bugsy, that's just kind of like, you're kind of contradicting yourself there, pal. People consider a cringy fandom when it's huge and it's everywhere. Thus, that's crazy. And the vocal minority is much more present. But that's crazy, right? Oh, dude. Okay, okay. It's probably getting somewhere. Hold up. My freaking mouse won't click. Hold up. I think a very cringy fandom is Sonic, FNAF, Undertale, Bronies, etc. What do they have in common? They're popular. We say a fandom's cringy when it becomes too big and when it comes big enough for a vocal minority to be to be obvious to people who aren't in the fandom. They stand out because people are observing them from a safe distance. Every, assuming everyone is like that, crazy. Crazy. I'm sure. That's what I'm. See, I understand. I am. See, that's. See, this is the kind of person I like to hear from, because, through all the people that are like, oh Logan, I'm with you. I totally got my. I'm totally giving you a ego blowjob. You, you know, you actually, you actually get it. I like people who actually get it. But it's like, this is why. But this is why I kind of. This is why I kind of like this is why I kind of like hearing from other people, because we got a whole bunch of people that will just sit there and take what people like Logan Hub or all these other motherfuckers will say as gospel and not try to think for themselves. And yeah, I feel like most of you hate Undertale because the fans won't shut up about it. It's big, it's popular, and it will still be big and popular. And instead of actually trying the various franchise that you find is cringy and really deciding for yourself, you'll take this man who looks like Wolverine Wolverine and Zach Galifianakis just fucked each other as gospel. And personally, I just think it's stupid. Remember, kids, all fandoms have their crazies. No fandom is perfect. But you can find good and interesting people in these fandoms. You just have to look. You have to try. You have to actually make an effort to talk to these people. But hey, that's just, you know, I didn't want to make this into an editorial, but I might as well. You got, like, this is the problem with this is the problem with the fandoms. Because we got these fans that will push you guys to the side and you guys don't want to even try what they're talking about, or just because it's so big and popular you don't want to give it a chance. Sure, things are big and popular and you have the right to not look at it, but just hating on something just because of a fandom is just a little ridiculous. Stop playing something or watching something because of a fandom is stupid. Why would you do that? If you don't want, you can watch something or play something or read something without having to worry about the fandom. But none of you want to do that. Everyone worth their salt just wants to hate on a fandom. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. You can hate on a fandom, you can hate on an anime, you can hate on a fandom of a book, but you know any bastard that has a camera, a decent mic, can do this on YouTube. But it takes a real person to just explain why you hate it or why you like something, because it takes a lot more effort and you actually have to think. I'll tell you why I like Undertale, Minecraft, and Sonic right off the bat. I love Sonic because I grew up with Sonic and I really find Sonic fun and enjoyable. You know? And who doesn't look at like certain franchise porn that people make? I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Because that's normal. That's normal. That's a natural human thing to look at porn, no matter what it is, except for child porn. You're pretty much screwed if you look at you're pretty much fucking nasty if you look at child porn. But you're nasty and you're a pedophile. It's a natural thing. I know some of you, but the people who actually say, "Oh, I don't want to look at porn to this," you actually took your time and sought it out. And if it was on Google and Google Images, you should have just kept walking instead of just going like, "Oh, the art and stuff." Fuck you, you little prude. That's why I hate these freaking articles that said like sensual desires are wrong. Motherfucker, idiot. Having sexual desires is not wrong or immoral. Let me. I know I'm branching off here, but I wanted to talk about this too. Sexual desires are normal. You're a fucking human being. Of course, you're gonna have wants and desires. It's normal. It's normal to wanna. It's normal to wanna fuck something. It's normal. You can't just sit there and be like, hey. And I know a bunch of freaking social justice warriors and freaking throwaway feminists will say this. Okay, Explain to me. What is wrong? What is wrong? And I am not talking about rape or anything like that. But what is wrong with people wanting to explore their sexual desires? Explain that to me. Like, someone literally in my comments, explain that to me. Tell me why you think it's immoral. Tell me why you think it's wrong. And I will tell you why it isn't. But back to the fandom stuff. I feel like you all just need to stop looking for this. Stop looking for any porn for this fandom. Okay, I'll take. I love Sonic, and I love Sonic because I met a lot of interesting people, and a lot of people through making Sonic Freedom Fighters. Because it's good to find people with the same interest. It's actually kind of awesome. And you guys just sit, you know, and you guys look at Chris Chan and all these other freaking Sonic, these Sonic weirdos that be going on like DA and trying to pick up little girls and shit. Like, we're all like that when we're not. You hate people hate Minecraft because the little kids keep playing it. Well, excuse these little kids for having fun with the game. Yes, Minecraft Let's Play little kids can be annoying, but it's what they want to do. Fuck them. Fuck you guys for thinking like, oh, little kids like Minecraft. Well, I don't want to play it. Then don't play it. Don't even talk about it. Like, I hate talking to people who talk about this one thing like it's freaking like I hate people who talk about this who say they hate something but they won't stop talking about it. You know what's even worse? When I was still doing Noir Bugsy episodes, there was one thing that cut. This motherfucker like says, "Hey, how you doing? I don't like I don't like bronies and clopping and all that shit." I'm like, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I just fucking was like, click, next person. Because I'm like, you went on fucking Omegle of all places to be ranting and raving about why you don't like clopping. People like that shit, okay? It's a thing. It doesn't mean you're completely into bestiality, or maybe it does, but it's what people do. You can't stop that. You can only just get angrier and angrier. But if you really hate it, back away from it. If it's not something you're into, go. Leave. Don't be like this motherfucker and try to be like, I justified my fandom because my fandom's better. Because that's not how you do it, kids. If you don't like a fandom, stay away from it. I always talk about how vast and big the internet is. And none of you listen to me. And I'm not trying to say, oh, you guys should have listened to me. But it's the truth. It is really the truth of every person who hates a fandom. There is, if you don't like something, just ignore it. You can't ignore it. Yeah, it's everywhere, but you can't ignore it. You can choose to not look at it, not even pay it any mind, not even acknowledge it. But you rather not. You rather just sit there and be like this motherfucker in his little suit and fucking talk about it. If you hate it, fucking leave it alone. That's all I gotta say. But a lot of you people just disappoint. Like, a lot of people disappointed me this year. These social justice warriors with their fucking constant crusade and fucking with everybody. And no. Their crusade with just fucking with everybody. Because that's what they were doing. They didn't care about any of the issues they were talking about. No, it's about messing with those fucking men because they're the source of all my problems. I'm like, and people like, oh, Bugsy, are you a meninist? I'm not a meninist. There is no such thing as a meninist. It's just a blanket statement. But what pisses me off is that we got all these fucking social justice warriors and dudes that want to call their own dicks because they're so ashamed of being dudes. That's what pisses me the fuck off. I'm not saying dudes that want to be transsexuals. I'm just saying dudes that just hate hate being dudes in general. And it's like you can't like honestly. I'm talking like dudes that just don't want to be transsexual. They just hate themselves. And I'm like, really, man? Really? You're a feminist, but you hate yourself. You hate your gender. Then become a woman, and then like they'll look at me like, I don't want that. And I'm like, what do you want? Jesus. I know I'm talking about a lot of topics all at once, rapid fire, but it just a lot of this irked me for a very long time. And I'm like, you know, why are you so disappointed? It's like, oh, Trump got elected. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the states. I'm like, leave already. We like people are tripping out still about Trump when nothing has happened yet. Trust me, I think Trump is gonna stay, you know, trying to not try to piss us all off. Because remember, if he fucks up, all eyes are on him. You know, it was. I feel like it was dumb of him to become president because think about it. If he screws up, his own businesses will suffer. The backlash you get as being like the world's worst president would be far greater if he just, you know, it will be far greater because, you know, he actually had the trust of the American people, and he will. And if he fails, everything, everything for him will literally stop. He'll still be rich, sure, but trust me, the influx of people not buying his shit will be astronomical. So yeah, I think it was kind of foolish of him being president, but you know, you'd rather take, you know, it's like the lesser two evils because you know Hillary's just, oh my god, shady as hell. Um, I understand like I don't talk about politics either, but like I needed to talk about this too. Just a lot of stuff been irritating me nowadays. You know, it's like I said, it's one thing. But let me just speed back on topics. Yeah, I thought Hillary was very shady what she did with those emails. And no, y'all can't say, oh no, they were falsified. No, some shit. Some shit. She did some shady shit. And she wanted us all to go to war, motherfuckers. Like, what if Russia would have got a nuclear strike? Most of us would probably be dead if we're not in freaking various safe shelters. But hey, whatever, it's just one little YouTuber's opinion. But I'll say this to Mr. Logan Hub, because I want to get back to the fandom stuff. You are not, you are not, like, you are not trying to, you don't convince me that the Dark Souls fandom is cringy, because in my standards, it, you know, Dark Souls to me isn't really cringy, because really, there's not really a whole lot wrong with it. But to say that they're probably just because I haven't found anything doesn't mean that a few people don't find it cringy. No fandom is really safe of being cringy or having crazy fans. You, my friend Logan, you need to understand that shit. I know this is a video from a long time ago, but I had to freaking do this now because it was one of those things I put off. I put off and off and off and off and off because I was too busy. But Logan, see, this is why I will never subscribe to you because instead instead of trying to see it our way and your own, you're just like, no, I hate the Undertale fandom. And there's not a lot of creative people who make freaking good answer and question blogs with actual freaking illustrations that look pretty fucking good. No, I just hate it for the sake of hating it because that's just me. And Dark Souls is my freaking big. Yeah. To me, and you know, with the whole fanfic thing, there's always gonna be crazy fanfic about anything that someone writes. But fanfic is just another way of you becoming a better writer. Never get discouraged, kids. Even if I say something bad about your fandom, that doesn't mean you're bad. It's just you're just trying to get better to be a better writer. And people who make the art, people who make little cringy art, you either make it for yourself, like what I used to do. You make it for yourself, and people won't like it. Don't listen to this dickhead. He doesn't know shit about shit. That's the kind of that's the kind of people you don't want to fuck. You don't want to fuck with, or you don't want to get into a fight with because you know it ain't worth it, and you know you could probably beat the shit out of them in like 5 minutes. Oh yes, but I digress. Remember, everybody, no fandom is perfect. Undertale's art is actually pretty good. Sure, there's some fetish shit out there, but someone's getting turned on, and there's nothing wrong with that. If it don't turn you on, just walk away from it. And if you literally want to fuck the characters, I ain't gonna stop you. If you wanna get with Sans, basically I got one thing to say. You're gonna have a good and bad time. You're gonna have a good and bad time. That's all I gotta say. Even though I don't know how Sans would get a boner, but hey, it's whatever. But I'm gonna go. Get ready for my Christmas bid. You all, you all, don't take my harsh words as harsh words. Take it as a way of take it. Just think of it as another opinion that you guys should probably look into. Just give it a chance. Just think about it for a bit. If you don't like it, whatever. I may have been howling at the dark, but still, I feel like some of you need to understand that not all fandoms are perfect, and this man who literally sits there and tells you, "Oh, I got this checklist," is not giving you the whole skimmy. He's just giving you what he wants to give you. And I'm telling you, yes, there's going to be bad fandoms. And for people who just hate Undertale for the fandom, you're doing the game kind of a disservice just because you hate. Because you can say you hate the fandom, but if you haven't played the game, don't sit there and be like, don't sit there and just be like, oh, I hate Undertale. Just try it for yourself once. I'll never tell you to play like a genocide run or pacifist run. Do whatever run you feel like. And some of us Undertale fans, we need to let up on these people. That's why people think all of us are weird. Because we're pushing it. We don't want to be like these Steven Universe fans, these bad Steven Universe fans that will push people to suicide or leave their jobs because they can't fucking get a clue. I mean, some of us fans need to band together and like stop the bad shit from our fandom instead of just letting it happen. That's what I did with the Sonic fandom. I let certain people understand that what you're saying here is just not cool. You can't be talking about Sonic games before they come out. You can't just say that the whole fandom is bad because of a few people. And you can't assume that everybody in the fandom are like the people you're talking about. Because you don't know other people. It's not like you have some sort of crystal ball that says, oh, this guy is cool, this chick is horrible, that guy likes to fuck penguins at night. You don't have that kind of ability. So don't act like you do. I know this was another Megaton rant, but it needed to be said. Logan's Hub, I bet you're a nice person and all. I bet you're cool. But just attacking a fandom just because you can and making a specific checklist that only works for one fandom is just, it's fucking terrible. And for those of you that judge, the franchises just because of what fandoms they have, you guys are fucking garbage. Instead of actually giving the franchise the franchise a chance, you would go to the fandom first. Rookies, idiots, and just plain garbage. I'll just say that. I'll just say that. And I'll be on my merry way.